What the f is this guy, bro? Is he okay? He makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, he is coming in with the zingers today. Listen, he's a comedian. He's a comedian. Laugh. We got a debate on our hands, everybody. As of this recording, it's only 5 hours ago. So I'm giving you these memes hot off the presses. You're welcome. So what we're going to be watching is going to be Jangles, science lad, teacher, Caucasian, hoodie wearing debate, bro, and fellow Kentucky dweller, Jangles versus Alex Stein, the right-wing paid cringe actor. It's going to be very funny. It's going to be very interesting. I heard that Jangles absolutely destroyed this man, and I have no doubt because Alex doesn't seem like he's very good at debating at all. It doesn't seem like he comes prepared at all, and I kind of doubt that he did here today. Jangles is very methodical. He's great at what he does, and I'm actually really happy to see him back to debating. I'm glad to see him back. He's been busy doing like cringe stuff, like, you know, having a life and taking care of himself outside of the community. So I'm glad that he came on back for this. Yeah, radio weirdo. Yeah, this is the guy who was like pooping his pants. This is the guy that everybody was like, wow, what a wacky guy when he was pooping his pants during the height of the pandemic at like city board meetings, you know? This is the guy who was like, he was rapping, he was doing puppet shows with like an African-American puppet. He was pooping in he pants, all that type of stuff to make sure that he was making the most amount of memes possible. That was his main goal. My mango. Very interesting stuff, I will say. Very interesting indeed. But let's watch. I kind of want to see what's going to happen. I'm a little excited for this, I have to tell you.
So we're talking about queer theory today, and I want to do a little litmus test for the audience. I want to say a word, and it's going to split the room one way or another. So my word is cis heteronormative. Now, cis heteronormative, fun word, great word, used a lot in queer theory. All it means is that right now, and for most of human history, in most cultures, with of course some exceptions, that cisgender, which is the opposite of transgender, and heterosexual, which is the opposite of homosexual, have been the norm in society for a long time. Now, a lot of people take that to mean that, well, that means it's natural. That means that means it is the correct and normal way for human beings to be. And that's just not the case, because for it to be as normative as it is, we've had to have enormous suppression of any sort of variance from gender or sexual norms. We've had to suppress identities. And we know that because the second that someone gets just a little bit of leeway to explore themselves in gender or sexual terms, they immediately pounce on it. It's like you have to suppress it in order for queer people not to be a thing. That's why I think it's really weird how a lot of the conversation today, we've had like the gay panic rise up again. We're indoctrinating your kids by letting people be gay. Like, we just let them do it. Like,
so true.
For example, there's a new Disney movie coming out. Did you know that? They have not promoted it at all. In which there's a gay couple in a Disney movie. That's indoctrination.
We're actually?
Apparently. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know what we're indoctrinating people to do by showing gay people existing. I don't know what the next step is in our grand master plan. Because if there's one thing queer people today know, is that movies can't turn you gay because they didn't turn us straight. Do you know how many movies, Disney and otherwise, I watched as a kid growing up? Hundreds, thousands of movies, only having straight people, and somehow still ended up being gay.
He's gay?
That's going to work. We're not going
to. He's been gay this entire time? Is that true? The twist. Homosexual spy. The gay the whole time. He's oh my gosh. Undercover homosexual. It's been found out. He's got a husband? Actually, I don't think he does. Actually, don't think he has a husband. He is vibing though. But I don't know. He may just not talk about him. Who knows? He does have a husband? He's married? He is? Really? I had no clue. I had no clue. Next time I talk to Jangles, I should ask how he husband is. Happily married for a while. Nice, good for. I should ask him how his husband is. I should ask him how Mr. Jangles is. Straight indoctrination. I mean, that's basically, it would have to mean that, right? Like, if having gay people just kind of exist is indoctrination, then having straight people exist is also indoctrination. And so you'll either have to say, oh, actually, I don't mean that, or actually there's like a big difference, Or what I think what they're going to, or my bad. I think what he's going to say is that it is indoctrination, but there's like more that they're doing. It's not just indoctrination. It's also saying that they shouldn't be like killed. And so that's where the indoctrination like really comes from. Oh, it's going to boil down to that. He's not going to say that verbatim, right? But that's why I think Alex is going to go on this issue. I've had this happen as well, where a lot of people will just kind of say this without thinking about the fact that it would have to work backwards if it was true at all. The sort of, it can turn people trans, and it can you can turn people trans, and you can turn people gay. So that means that you would have to be able to turn people cis and turn people straight, and it doesn't seem like they're willing to it doesn't seem like they're willing to understand that if that was true, then the system that we've already built would have been able to turn them straight already, because it would be the same system that it would be to turn them gay, but it doesn't work like that. So it's almost like it doesn't exist. Or the gay is way stronger than the straight or something. An insane talking point that I would only imagine would come from like the two batshit idiots that me and Maddie debated not too long ago. It would be like them saying that the gay is like crack cocaine, while the straight is like tap water, where even though the straight is better for you than crack cocaine, but your body will crave crack cocaine more than water. So the gay just tastes that good.
Not going to turn any kids gay. The only thing we're going to do is to make kids that are gay maybe not feel quite as hidden and demonized and ostracized from society. And even more importantly, it's going to show that to straight kids and everyone else that we're actually just kind of boring. I wish we were more exciting than we are.
Yeah, true. Gay people are kind of losers.
I guess,
but in a good way. They're good losers.
Trans. So the queer indoctrination has begun. Because you know what indoctrination actually looks like? Indoctrination tricks you and makes you be something that you're not. It tries to really, really, really force and railroad you to a very narrow set of beliefs. If queer people actually wanted to indoctrinate our kids, we'd make it illegal to be straight. No straight couples in any shows. We'd make it illegal.
The straight is banned.
We wouldn't let that happen at all. And while that does sound familiar,
this is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
It's an accurate representation of what's going on in our society today. So, big thing about queer theory says, the most controversial thing it says, is that it kind of rejects this deeply dichotomized view of.
I think a lot of these conservatives are just really mad when they hear the word theory.
So if I say the words, I was born in the wrong body, what does that make you think of today? Probably trans people, because that's the most common, like, normalized argument. That's the most common, like, normie argument, if I can use an internet term. But that has been used for a long time. In fact, back in the 1800s, born in the wrong body was actually used to describe what would now be considered gay people, because it's so deeply dichotomized that the only way that you can be attracted to men is if you had a female spirit inside you. So that argument is really, really old, and it's just not.
Anybody else flexing their female spirit?
Of the enormous complexity that is the human experience, both in terms of gender and sexuality and a million different other variables that we can consider. So, I'm concerned about where this conversation, the national conversation, is going, because it seems like otherwise good people are demonizing queer people, and especially queer kids, and especially trans kids, not out of any genuine concern for their safety, but
anybody up vibing with a woman brain?
One, a deep-seated visceral disgust at any deviation from traditional like sexual norms, as well as deep incuriosity. They don't want to know anything else. They don't want to be involved, or they don't want to be informed. They don't want to be pulled out of this very narrow view of the human experience that they're accustomed to. We don't want to take anything away from anyone else. We don't want to turn straight kids gay or cis kids trans, because one, we know that doesn't work. It didn't work on us in the other direction. We just want people to live free and happy lives. And I have never seen a convincing argument as to why that's going to harm society. It's going to make happier people more productive, and a greater variation of human experiences that is going to make our lives a little bit more richer.
Thank you very much. We'll kick it over to Alex Stein for his
No, accidentally closed my thing. Anyways, The interesting thing for me, if you're ever in this conversation or anything with an insane person who believes something like this, just ask them this. I've seen it's been a very interesting question. If it's possible to turn somebody gay or trans, can I turn you gay or trans? Can you be turned gay or trans? Like if you were to watch enough like gay YouTubers or something, would you then become gay? Would it be possible? And a lot of them would be like, no, not me, but somebody else with a much smaller brain would definitely fall for those tricks or something. Or they may like close up. You get a lot of information out of somebody if you ask them something like that. Like, what would like can you be locked in a room with the gay and can you be turned gay? A lot of them don't want to like accept the idea that they could be turned gay, but that they don't also want to accept the idea that it's impossible to turn people gay or just your average person to be turned like straight or gay or something. It's just not, you can't do it. You can like learn to understand that you like something or don't like something, but discovering something and it like poofing into the world in that very moment are two incredibly different things. I'm sorry, Schrodinger's box is actually just a thought experiment.
Well, thank you. My name's Primetime99, Alex Stein. That was a very passionate debate introduction, Jangles. I just want to congratulate you on that. And, you know,
is he drunk?
Research of queer theory, out of all the theories, I noticed it's definitely the gayest of them all.
Nice
the
meme.
reason it being so gay...
hilarious.
It's about gay acceptance, and I would argue that right now it's more acceptable to be gay, trans, lesbian, LGBTQI than it ever has been in society. So
okay,
that would be my first debunk, is that right now I think it's more socially acceptable.
That's it. Something is bad. Yeah, but it's better than it was yesterday. Okay.
To be your true self than it ever has been in history. So I think in your
I don't accept that.
We're at least trending in the right direction. But this is the problem, like when it comes down to queer theory, where you talk about like the right-wing conservatives that might have a problem with it, because really and truly, when I come in and talk about these subjects, like male swimmers, biological men competing against women in sports, I'm passionate
what the fuck is a bio man?
I don't think that's okay for a biological man because I think they have a physical advantage. But when it comes to queer theory or being gay or transphobia or homophobia, I'm not homophobic. I'm not anti-gay. I think gay people, I think marginalized people, I think people that are treated differently by society should be treated normal. I truly believe that. But at the same time, I think that there is an indoctrination of youth that's currently happening in society that's not just because of social progressivism. I think that it's a little more sinister than that, because when you look at the amount of children in this day and age that are considered trans, that are on gender reassignment therapy or gender reassignment hormones in the state of California compared to the state of Ohio, it's like 10,000% more. So you're like, what is that? For me, those are parents that are encouraging their kids to be trans or to have an alternative lifestyle, or at least they're encouraging that lifestyle more. And I think we have a situation now, and I know we're talking about queer theory, but you talked about like cis heteronormative. That's what I would be, cis heteronormative, because I bang hot chicks on the reg.
So true, buddy. I bet.
Is that funny? Hot chicks. Hotter than Destiny. Okay. What I'm saying is, I don't necessarily think in the argument
that is a woman's name. You're right.
That queer theory is necessarily bad, or if it's even a real thing. I mean, I think that we're over-sexualizing children by exposing them to pornography, by exposing them to adult themes at too young of an age because of the internet. So now, I think it's just like our children are being indoctrinated, whether it's queer theory, straight theory, trans theory. There's too many theories that I think kids are being indoctrinated by.
People keep thinking too much.
To your point, do I think that gay people or gay history should be taught in school? I guess when I think of critical race theory, I'm trying to compare it to like queer theory, and I believe one of the parts of critical race theory is that we should be based in white guilt. So I guess I'm more curious because I'm very familiar with queer theory, but I'm not familiar if it's based in heteronormative guilt, like if it's guilty that I'm straight. But I don't think.
Wouldn't you know that if you knew a lot about it?
In the Bible, it's Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. That's a joke. Okay, that wasn't very funny. My point is,
what the f is this guy, bro? Is he okay? He makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, he is coming in with the zingers today. Listen, he's a comedian. He's a comedian. Laugh.
Gender theory, gay theory, it's cool to be gay. I think in this day and age now it's socially acceptable to be gay more now than it ever has been. So the idea that queer theory is good, no, I don't think it's good. I don't really think sexual education at too young of an age is good, but people like you...
Sexual education? You mean sexuality education?
Social acceptance of children's sexuality, you would probably argue that. I think that's one of the most disgusting things, and I think it was like Ron DeSantis's Don't Say Gay bill. I know a lot of people freaked out, but in that same Don't Say Gay bill, you weren't supposed to talk about sex at all, and I think that's the approach that we should have when it comes to education, is not talking about it until they're at least 16 or 17, you know, going
17?
Puberty. For me, I just think that's the
puberty. Wait, pause. You think you go through puberty at 17? Or you start puberty at 17? What? Shouldn't learn about sex until puberty? What are you talking about? What do you mean? You know they're gonna have to clean their dick sometime soon. You know. You know, even little kids have to clean their bodies. You know that, right? They have to like take showers. I think they should know about that before 16. Yo, imagine a girl not knowing how to clean her vagoober until she's 17, bro. She may die. She may not make it then. Oh my gosh. Okay. He looks like he hasn't gone through puberty yet. He kind of looks like an alternate dimension Charlie Kirk.
Proper way, or let a parent handle it. But with education today, teachers feel like that they have more control over a child's education than the parents, because there's instances of teachers.
They are literally teaching the kid.
Closets where they'll let. They
do literally make the
closet behind their
curriculum
parents' back. If the child identifies as the opposite sex and the parents aren't involved in it. So
gender.
I think one of the major problems that we have today is our education system, and you talked about the indoctrination of children. It's obvious. Now we can sit here and you can argue and say, oh, well, there's not an indoctrination of children going on, but I would say with the media, with the amount of educators, not just administrators, but coaches, and then you talk about family members, not necessarily the parents, but talking about aunts, uncles, that are encouraging kids to be transgender or to be gay, is happening at an alarming rate that's never happened.
What do you mean encourage?
If you look at the amount of kids that are considered trans or that have ever actually transitioned or are on gender hormone therapy, compared to the 90s, compared to the 80s, compared to the 70s, it's up like thousands and thousands and thousands of percentages. So that's not because of just, you know, natural social progressiveness. That's people encouraging it. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's okay to have gay sex. Does it need to be taught in school like it's, you know, U.S. history? I don't necessarily think so. So, with that, that's my opening statement.
Thank you very much. We'll go on to open dialogue.
All right, so there's a lot of stuff there. Just so you know, we don't mash our dicks together when we have sex.
Are you
you're right,
really?
That really doesn't work, but you know, there's some other ways to do it.
I thought you get him pregnant by coming in the other.
Well, it's literally the other way. It's literally the other way, and that's how we do it. And it is.
Well, I mean, chat, be honest with me. Is the prostate part of the dick? Be honest with me, chat. Where does the internal end? No. Yes. No. No. You say no. So where does the internal end? Be honest. It's a separate organ. Okay, Stinko. Well, wait. Pause. Well, like your sex on a penis, like your sex gland is the head. So you're going to tell me that the rest of the penis is an entirely separate organ, which means it's not the part of the dick? What the hell? My ass. You're a dick haver, shouldn't you know? No, I haven't like peered beyond the void of like my own flesh. I don't know what's in there. I just use it. I don't know. Wait, where does the penis end? No, they're talking about the other end, the glands. Where's the other side? Where does it end in the other side? What is this? The bulbourethral? The Bulbasaur? I'm not lying to you. It's bulb, and then hour, and then e-thrall. Bulbourethral. That's its actual name. Apparently that's where the penis ends. It's where it's the actual inside muscle that clamps off the like pee reservoir from the Okay. Apparently that's the real end. And you know what? As I'm looking at it, the bulb can actually be reached. The bulb can actually be reached by the anal cavity. It's actually closer to the anal cavity than the prostate is. That's very funny. Or I guess like the the colon. Or is like the anal cavity is like the end of the colon, is that right? Bulbasaur.
It is natural because otherwise what would it be? Supernatural? Like cybernetic?
I don't know.
Maybe some days it'll be cybernetic.
I don't know
but
if anal sex is necessarily natural.
It's
what does that mean?
What part of that is like ethereal or beyond the natural world?
You need lube to do it, correct?
You do?
No, you
know?
don't.
So
Yeah.
that's not very natural. I just have to lube, the
Pardon me, sir. The POV, you do not have sex with women. You should use lube when you have sex with a pussy having woman as well. You should have sex. You should use lube when you have sex with pussy havers as well. You know that, right? You don't just shove it in there, right? You should also use lube. He's like, my bitches don't need lube. Okay, buddy. Cis women use no lube apparently. So true. All the cis women in chat agree that you don't actually need lube because their pussy is its own lube factory. You could just like save it up in bottles or whatever. You know what I mean? Anyways,
the lubrication factory right there.
You're right.
I was joking. I didn't think he was actually going to say that. I was making a meme. I didn't think he was actually going to say that. Why? Sometimes I wish I did miss. Actually, I did wish I miss. No, he's going dry. It's us. Pre-watched. I was memeing. You weren't supposed to actually say that. That's not. If you're going to take this route, then okay. Then the anal cavity is also its own like lube factory. Ever heard of mucus? It lines the entire. It literally lines the entire like digestive tract. All of it. Like you have spit in your mouth. It's also there. It's all wet all the time. If that's the route you're going to take, I guess. Well, I don't know. I guess your abdomen is also its lube factory. If you punch a hole in his abdomen, it's gonna be pretty wet.
Well, this is not a symposium on gay sex.
Chicks have natural lube, so you can just get them wet, and then bam, you go like.
I will. If you're gay,
Please stop.
I will tell you how to. I'll give you some tips after the debate is over.
I don't like.
There's some other stuff I wanted to talk about.
It's not something I'm proud about.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe. There's some stuff you said. You said that we're encouraging people to be gay and trans. What do you mean? Like we're saying, like we're out of a blue. A kid is just doing absolutely nothing, and we're saying, hey. You know what you should do? You should be gay. You should be trans. You think that's happening at a rate that is 100th as what is going on in the other direction?
You're trying to paint a picture like there's teachers like twisting kids' arms, like suck a dick. No, I don't think that. No, I don't think that.
So what does encourage mean to you?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like at a young age, when you walk into an elementary school, you'll see a trans flag. Well, why is a trans flag in there? Why are we even talking about transgender issues? Why is there a pride flag in elementary?
Because they exist. Some of the students are going to be trans. Some of the students will be gay, and people are mean to them. So it would be nice to show that you're not mean to them. I think they would enjoy that. Actually, I think they would like that. I walk into a school and I see black people, and I'm like, why? Why are we talking about black people?
Why is there a pride flag in elementary school? When really and truly, I'm not anti-pride, but when the only difference between
I hate seeing them.
and a straight person is who they like to have sex with. Is that correct?
Mostly, yeah. But also how society treats them.
So why are we doing a flag that is celebrating who people have sex with?
Well, because a lot of people
put a flag
don't.
that celebrates no sex. Because listen,
once again, not all. Why do we have to talk about this every single time? I think Jangles actually should have said no here, if I'm going to be completely honest. Every single time this comes up, we have to like say this again. A relationship or who you like is not just limited to sex. You do more. Like I have to say this every single time. Attraction does not equal sex. No, you can be attracted to somebody and not have sex with them. You absolutely can. You can be attracted to somebody and not even want to have sex with them. It's like I feel like it's a shocker every time I say it, but there's more you can do with women than have sex with them. I know, truly mind-boggling. Truly barely understandable. Like when you meet a woman, you can actually do more with her if you like her than have sex with her. You can take her out to a park. Women love parks. Okay, you can have like a nice walk at the park. You could go to the movies, go out, get something to eat. You can go shopping together. So you can go grocery shopping together. You know, that's so cool. You really learn a lot about a woman once you see what she keeps in her grocery basket. You know what I mean? all these certain things. And you could watch them, you know, you could go home and watch Breaking Bad for the 15th time with her, and every single time like your favorite bit comes up, you, instead of looking at the screen, you look at her waiting for her reaction, and then she kind of nervously tries to ham up a reaction even though she didn't think the scene was as cool as you did, but she knew that you would be a little upset if you didn't actually seem as excited as you were about that same like scene. So she does that for you because she loves you. Okay, there's so much you can do with women besides just having sex with them. Really, I hope one day these boys will understand. Not Jangles, he hates women.
I'm pro-sex. I'm up here talking about how I like to bang, da-da-da-da. I'm not some moral, like, you know, Christian, like, no sex allowed.
Well, they're not going to
over-sexualizing children by putting gay flags.
Let me.
That make no sense.
He keeps speaking.
All right. Well, maybe I can elucidate you with some experience. So you bang a lot of hot chicks, and that's great. That's how you want to live your life. So I'm married to my husband and have been with the same man for 10 years.
Yeah, he's got a husband.
Than just sex. So if you were married, you might know that. Yeah, it's a lifelong bond. It is. It's you're sharing.
Everybody up bonding.
And you can talk about gay issues. You can talk about gay pride without talking about the ins and outs of gay sex, pun intended. So when we say we're sexualizing kids,
what about the ups and downs
Cinderella
of gay sex?
Is that sexualizing kids because it depicts a heterosexual romance? Is that sexualizing kids?
In a way, it probably sexualizes them to think that heteronormative relationships are the.
Well, that's what I asked. That's what I asked. Is it sexualizing kids? We're showing two people kiss in a children's movie. Is that sexualizing them?
Well, no, because like at a wedding, people kiss, but there is like subversive.
I mean, a wedding is like romantic. We're talking about romantic relationships in a wedding as well. So, are we sexualizing kids with Cinderella? There's a very easy answer. The answer is no.
Are we sexualizing kids with the? I mean, it's so broad. Are we technically?
It is broad, and the answer is no. No, we're not sexualizing kids by showing Cinderella kiss whoever it was.
This is the thing, because there's hard pornography and softcore pornography. So I guess we're softcore.
Wait, is he? Alex, stop. Alex, stop. Alex, do not continue the sentence. Alex, don't continue the sentence. Alex, Alex, continue. Keep speaking. Hello, Alex. Hello, Primetime 99 Alex Stein. I am your lawyer, and I say, keep this up.
Whoever it was.
This is the thing, because there's hardcore pornography and softcore pornography. So I guess we're softcore sexualizing them or hardcore.
Cinderella's softcore pornography?
No, I'm saying there's different types of sexualization. So like just to show two people kiss, the mom and dad would be like, oh, what does that mean? Like as a young kid, you might be inquisitive to know what is the next step from kissing.
Exactly. You
so
could
that is a form of sex.
Yeah, you could say like, hey.
He said, wait. So he didn't say it's softcore porn, but he said it's softcore sexualizing children. So he's okay with sexualizing children, but as long as it's like really soft. Guys, does this sound like a problem to you all, or is it just me? Am I the only person who feels this way? Am I the only person who feels like, oh, what the hell is going on here? You can have, yeah, he's like, you can have a little, he's like, the kids can have a little sexualization as a treat. I'm losing my mind. I have never thought that this would be something that I would hear like this man say. Is that, okay, whatever, I guess.
Hey, me and mommy love each other.
So I would argue that it's a little bit of sexualization, yeah, because it's showing you normal relationships, like the whatever the king. And
gay people are normal.
Princess and prince.
So it is sexualizing kids to show them
a little bit, yeah.
Okay,
a little bit.
But I think most people would say that showing a child Cinderella is okay. It's not going to scar them for life.
Yes, I think that it would be okay.
Okay,
too.
so
wait, he thinks sexualizing children is okay?
The new Disney movie coming out, if we see two men kiss, that's also, if it is sexualizing them, it's sexualizing them in that Cinderella way.
Well, then why in China with that same movie would they not be able to show that?
Because they're homophobic.
They hate gay people?
Okay, but why are they homophobic? Okay, I'm just asking, what do you think that their motivation for not showing
for being homophobic is?
Because they're disgusted by gay people. They're homophobic. What answer do you want? Is that what we should do? We should follow China's example?
No. I'm just wondering what's their motivation. So why don't they want to show kids?
They don't want people to be gay. They're homophobic.
So by showing them gay stuff, would more kids
showing them two I guess it's teenagers, two boys kissing in a movie, it does normalize. I mean, that's part of the good thing. It does normalize gay relationships. It shows that they're and that's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't encourage kids to be gay.
And I'm not even trying to be anti-gay, because I understand there's people that I went to high school with that were young that were naturally gay. I mean, that's
I know, but you understand.
Naturally gay? What farm grown? Kids who are naturally gay? What the fuck is he saying? Every gay person is natural. Why do you say naturally gay? What the hell is he talking about? Free range, cage free gays. Organic. All right. Non-GMO gay. Homophobia incomprehensible. This is pretty incomprehensible, I must say. So he just admitted that like sexualizing children is good, but as long as they do it in the way that he likes, I guess. Like natural sexualization of children, I guess, is what he would be okay with. This am I the only person who's seeing this and is kind of like confused, like / distraught by like the words that he's saying, right? Is that just me, or is it like anybody else who feels this way? I want to know if I'm reading this incorrectly, because the way in which I'm reading this so far does worry me greatly. I genuinely think he's drunk. He sounds drunk, crying. Me too.
Understand how it's weird to say that like two men kissing in a movie is sexual.
A man and a woman kissing is sexual.
But
that's just more a normal.
I think most people would
it's just
say
normal
that
sexualization.
It's not a sexual movie. It's not like exploiting kids' sexuality. I think most people would say that.
We're arguing like the nuance of the nuance right now. I mean, I just
What?
think that you could argue in a Disney movie by showing just a man
This isn't nuance yet.
falling in love at the end of the movie is in a way sexual. Like I didn't know what love was in Disney movies.
Okay, so is there like a healthy level of sexuality being shown to kids?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there is. Yeah, I think there is. Like
All right.
normal, not actual intercourse, but I mean,
Of course
the fact
not.
that mom and dad,
So we're
love
agreeing
each
that,
other.
all right, so wait, so we're agreeing that there are levels of sexuality, if you're going to define it that way, where it is acceptable to show to kids. And so something like the Don't Say Gay bill, which would like bar any sort of discussion of, it would bar the two men kissing. It would bar
a straight woman and male kissing too.
Well, I think here's a question I want to ask. So they learned to read before 3rd grade, right?
I didn't.
Things haven't. You didn't?
I didn't learn
Hey,
to read
I barely
till
did either. But I'm pretty
It's okay,
sure
I can
we
tell.
still teach reading in schools up to 3rd grade, right? They want to learn their letters and stuff. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll show stories, reading passages. And here's the thing: do you think that Ron DeSantis and his organization, his administration, do you think they would view the phrase "John and his wife went on vacation"? Do you think they would view that sexually, even though it is technically introducing sexual orientation?
This facial cleanser feels good. Yeah, I mean, in a way, but I guess you'd be describing normal gender roles.
Yeah,
so,
and then definitely they would say John and his husband went on vacation. The exact same sentence,
got a
the exact
husband?
phrase, the exact same
They
way.
do say that because now they say birthing persons.
Oh no! Don't walk away from that. Don't walk away from that. Yeah, don't walk.
Wait, they also view females just as birthing persons. When they talk about like, when they ask like what is, when they like screech about like what is a woman, and their answer is give birth, they just think that females are birthing people. Like that's actually just what they think. That's like the beginning and end of woman to them. Looks like he's about to puke. He does. I don't know if he's okay breeding stuff.
Don't pivot.
Okay.
Don't pivot.
But go ahead. I'm just saying. You're saying that we don't choose like gay language.
No,
we don't use gay inclusive language.
I'm saying John and his husband. Why is that more sexual than John and his wife? For a kid to read.
Because it's gay.
Exactly my point. He illustrated it beautifully. Gay things are sexual because they're gay. That's circular reasoning. I thought y'all hated circular definitions.
You
have to do better than that. Sex is sex, all right? That's
but gay sex and heterosex are
Gay sex, heterosex
are different.
They are indeed different.
One can
I like
produce a
one and not
baby
the other.
and one can't, so they're totally different.
Do you think most heterosexual sex produces a baby?
Well, I would almost argue.
How many babies do you have? You were having sex with all these hot women. How many babies do you have?
You could almost argue that
Too many.
having anal sex is basically just mutual masturbation, and the only true form of sex is vaginal sex.
You could argue that if you're wrong.
No, you could. I'm just saying, you're trying to say that gay sex
What?
is the same as heterosexual.
No, I'm
it's
not.
not because one sex is
How is-
a baby and one doesn't. So I would say they're different.
I want to ask, how many babies do you have?
None.
None? But you have sex with all these
Hey
hot
babe, can you masturbate me with the inside of
But
your
you haven't
body?
yet,
You know
and
what?
so
Next time I
most
meet a girl, I'll have to say
You
that.
two guys are gonna.
I'll have to ask that.
You know what? I want to actually concede that point no matter how
If
hard
she's
we
like-
try, we have-
If she's like, I don't really want to have sex, I can just go, hey, can you just like masturbate me with the inside of your, can you like jerk me off with the inside of your body then, please? Thank you. Works every time, guys. Works every time. It's basically just mutual masturbation. So true. This is insane. No, is sex with like a 40-year-old woman then also just mutual masturbation because she cannot produce baby?
have not made a baby yet, but you're kind of admitting that the purpose of sex, 99.999% of heterosexual sex doesn't produce a baby because there's way more to sex than babies.
I have control. If I want to ejaculate in a woman without a condom, I could possibly.
That's not the only one. Guys, just so you know, this is why you go through sex ed. Okay, this is why you go through sex ed and early, because then you'll think that the only way to get somebody pregnant is by coming in them. Which is not true, just so you all know. Just in case I have some people here who have not yet understood that.
Of heterosexual sex, why don't you do it?
1 trillion years be having anal sex and ever have a baby. So those two forms of sex, you want to try to say it's the same? I'm sorry, they're completely different.
They are different in that we can't have a baby. I've admitted that. You've pulled it out of me that we can't have a baby.
So you're trying to make gay sex the same as
it's not the same, but it is.
Sure, but like
it is the same because you're not having sex to have a baby.
Because
you're not having sex to have a baby, are you?
One has poop and is different. And
Did you know you can clean your butt? Did you know you can clean your butt? Did you know you can wash your ass? I actually have to tell a lot of straight guys, you can wash your ass.
Yeah, I understand that you can wash your ass, but you're sticking
your needles
into a hole that is made for defecating. When I have sex with a woman, I'm sticking my penis in a hole that is meant for producing a child. It's not the same.
Yeah, but you don't produce children.
One, you have to go. If I wanted to, I could. One, you have to go to a store.
If you wanted to, you mean if you both wanted to?
Water-based.
Whatever based lubricant.
Water-based.
The other one, you can just kiss and it's naturally lubricated. You can have sex, so they are not the same. I know we're trying to make it the same. It's not, and I just think that is.
So the world of difference that you're drawing is a $10 bottle of lubricant.
Well, I'm saying gay sex
lubricant's actually good for
gay
sex
sex
as well.
is different than heteronormative sex. I mean, we don't.
I agree.
The whole debate's not here to just talk about the differences in gay sex and heteronormative sex, but you're trying to make it seem like it's the same.
You're trying to agree on the point to continue this
It might be a little more jarring, especially when I go to I go to city council meetings. This happens a lot of times. I say my wife and her boyfriend, people laugh at that. Or I say, oh, my husband's. And people will laugh at that because it is a little unusual or less normal, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's less normal.
So I'm just saying.
It's less common.
That's why it has that stigma. It doesn't necessarily think that it's bad.
Stigma?
It's not even necessarily that it's in bigotry or people are like, oh, I'm anti-gay. It's just kind of funny because it's different. That's the only reason why. It's not that it's bad.
All right.
It's not that it's not even that it's evil. It's just,
Can you admit
what is happening right
now?
It's a little different.
Can you admit that the vast majority of heterosexual sex and 100% of the heterosexual sex that you claim to have is for the same reason I do?
To nut?
To nut.
I mean, I don't know why we're arguing about the motivations of sex.
Answer that. Can you agree that the reason you have sex and the reason I have sex is the same?
No,
well,
not necessarily.
No, because I have
for money. I have an OnlyFans.
But it's to feel good, right?
Okay, so gay people and straight people can both feel good from sex. I get that.
And it's not just to feel good; it's also to develop a partnership, develop a deeper bond.
They're totally different.
They're totally. But if they're 99% similar in the reasons that we're having sex,
I don't know about.
Why are they that different?
I don't think they're 99% similar.
Well, yeah, because I'm married and you're not. That's a big difference between us specifically.
So the Jangles and the Jangles on his on Jangles on his pious arc, Jangles on his no premarital sex arc. Holy shit. My man, he's roasting him. Yeah, we're different because I'm married. F you. Trad husband. Yeah, Jangles on his trad husband arc. Oh my goodness. He is awoken. How long is this? I'm not going to answer that question because you're going to be scared.
The social constructs of the sex you're having. I'm talking about the actual physical sex is not the normal way to have sex, you could argue. Because this is why. When a man and a woman have anal sex, it's not normal than the vaginal sex.
Why is it not normal?
Because it's different. It's messier.
It's normal. It's not normal.
It's messier?
And you can't have a baby. Yeah, it's
bro, you f***ing poop?
Why. Something that would be considered different, it would be, you could argue.
Do you think
POV, wash your ass? Challenge impossible difficulties?
Is that why you do it?
We're trying to argue, right now what we're doing is we're circumcising an ant. It's not about the two forms of sex. It's about...
You made it about the two forms of sex. They are different.
But I don't even know what we're arguing about the two forms of sex. We admit that it's different. What is your argument?
Because my argument is that the reason that we have sex, the reason why it's awesome, the reason why these relationships can be normalized is because they are 99% the same in their practicality.
They're not 99% the same because you, in a million years, could have anal sex every minute of every second.
I'm aware of this fact.
Never get a girl pregnant.
I'm aware of this.
Not the same.
I am aware of this fact.
So try
to say that
they're 99% the same when one has an outcome of a human life and the other one has the outcome of literal poop.
As a potential outcome.
You can wash your ass Please
Yeah,
wash
but you're not
your
going to
ass.
wash a baby off your penis.
That's true.
So they're not. They're just so different. You're
Pardon
trying
me?
to say, and it's almost rude to, and I'm not trying to say this to be mean to gay people. It's almost rude to a woman to say that anal sex is the same as gay anal sex is the same as vaginal sex with a woman, because it's not. Because
Who's saying that?
You wouldn't be here.
Who are you arguing with? Why do you keep bringing that up? Who are you arguing with?
Because you're saying they're 99% the same.
and the reason we have
they're
sex.
not the same
I'm saying
at all.
The reason we have sex is 99% the same.
I wouldn't argue that. I wouldn't agree with that. People have sex for
Why do you have
different
sex?
reasons. People have a carnal
Why do you have
instinct
sex?
to want to have pleasure, but that's not the only reason people have sex. The reason
What's the reason you have sex?
The reason we're all here is because our parents
What's the reason you have sex?
had heteronormative sex.
What's the reason you have sex?
Without that heteronormative sex, it doesn't matter how gay we are.
He's not even answering Jangles.
Without that
He's just like talking
heteronormative
around in
sex, none of
circles
us
and not
would be
Jangles
here.
I'm sure
to
you
not touch the
whoever
Jangles.
was they had no idea about that. Why do you have sex? Why do you have sex with lots of hot
Listen,
chicks?
we're not here to debate why I have sex. I have sex for different reasons.
What
I'm
is
just
it?
trying to
What are
talk
they?
about
Are
the
any of them to get from
heteronormative
Pick a Baby?
sex with gay sex not being the same. That's the thing that we're arguing right now. You're trying to say that being in a gay sexual relationship is 99%
Gay
the same
sex relationship.
as being in a heteronormative sexual relationship. That's not the case. They're different.
I know
and
they're
one
different.
produces a kid and one doesn't. And I'm not even
one
saying that
does not instantly produce a
you're a
kid.
bad person because you have gay sex. I'm just saying one is the essence of life and the other is the essence of poop.
All right, I want to get away from. We've talked about gay sex a lot more than I planned on, which is a little bit interesting.
It's just.
But let's talk about something else.
He just seems
say
quite
that, like,
stupid.
Schools are going behind parents' backs. So there's something unique about queer identities. Most minority identities, most identities who are traditionally like marginalized in society, are born into communities and families of that identity. So black people are born typically into black families and black communities. Of course, there are exceptions. Whatever minority group that you can think of. Queer people are not. You're right. My parents were straight. You're right, and you're also right that in 99.
None of our parents would be here if they didn't have straight sex.
I know.
Very
Thank
cool,
you for
very
blowing
interesting.
my mind with this new information. You're right, but that also means that sense of, you know why the mental health problems in the queer community, not just trans people, but queer community overall, is a lot higher, is because we are born into families that aren't necessarily equipped to accept us. We're born into families that aren't necessarily familiar with, or in large cases, disagree vehemently. Both my parents were Christians, vehemently disagree with it. So when you're talking about when you're talking about people who are encouraging, when you're talking about like parents and people encouraging people to be gay, that's not the case. It happens the other direction by a factor of 100 times. Here's the thing. If you're born, if you are gay or if you are trans, there's a good chance that you're like 99.9% probability that your parents are straight and cis. Of course, there are exceptions, but that means that
loathsome dung sex.
They might fucking hate you. Do you think that if you are a cis, heteronormative, devout Christian couple, that you get to choose whether your kid is gay?
No, but for the same reason.
No, and so that kid is going to have a lot harder time growing up. They're going to lose that sense of belongingness. They're going to gain this sense of marginalization, of ostracization that they wouldn't have otherwise. And they need a support system.
I'm very empathetic to any child whose parents do not support their sexuality, but there's also a slew of abusive parents. There's parents that abuse their kids for not being good enough at sports. There's parents that abuse their kids for being overweight. There's parents that abuse their kids for being bad students in school.
So you're downplaying that abuse, but you're upplaying the abuse of them encouraging their kids to be gay and trans?
No, I'm just saying, I believe that there's going to be parents that are going to abuse children no matter what. So you're saying that, people are getting abused because of their sexuality. Now, that exists, but I don't think we can stop parental abuse, is my point being. So,
I mean, we shouldn't take any efforts. For example, a school environment.
You start off by saying that there's parents that are indoctrinating them. Now, like I said, there's
this guy's pretty.
Not
guys, conservative family values, okay? Conservative family values. Well, I mean, you're not gonna stop parents from abusing their children, so who cares? Come on, who cares? This is just remarkable, I must say. This is truly remarkable. I didn't have much faith in like Alex. I haven't seen him do anything smart ever, I think. But I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I will say I had higher expectations for him than this. And you know what? The worst part about it is not that he's like annoying and dumb. The worst part about it is that like Jangles puts a lot of time and effort into debates, and to fly across the country and to have a debate opponent and to prepare so much and this be the guy who you're up against is honestly, it's just kind of like sad. You know what I mean? It's just kind of sad. You were expecting, I was expecting a little bit more. You know, it's not like a good fight. Is it a sperm gun? No, my bullets have rat tails, not cum tails. They're rats.
Going to indoctrinate their kids. As a matter of fact, they want their kids to do the exact opposite, and that is another form of motivation. Or sometimes, like an example. If
wait, pardon me. I gotta make sure I heard that right.
Well, no, you start off by saying that there's parents that are indoctrinating them. Now, like I said, there's some parents that are not going to indoctrinate their kids. As a matter of fact, they want their kids to do the exact opposite, and that is another form of motivation. Or sometimes, like an example, if a kid's dad is a big Dallas Cowboys fan, sometimes they'll be a fan of the opposite team. So if a parent is really strict on you, sometimes they'll do the opposite. So they're going to be like opposite.
So what does that look like? Without like a fan of the Cowboys.
You're making it exact science. We're like, oh, these Christian.
You're claiming that this is happening a lot. No, you're claiming that this is happening a lot. I want to know what it looks like. You're saying that this is happening, that kids are being encouraged to be probably trans in particular.
More so by their teachers, more so by usually
what is
aunts and uncles.
So what does that look like?
It looks like, there's a thing called Libs of TikTok.
Yes.
And you'll see all the teachers complaining about how they're...
So have you seen this Twitter account?
Pronouns. You have them talking about how they got administrative leave because they talked about their gay cruises. There's
So how does this encourage kids to be trans?
Because now
you're claiming that happens all the time, and your go-to example doesn't.
Because these teachers are indoctrinating kids by telling
how?
them.
What does that look like? I'm trying to draw it out of you.
Because when you're a young kid and your mind is most
he has no explanation. It's just gay people, pronouns exist, trans. Pronouns exist, trans. Instantly. It's just he wasn't able to explain this, I don't think, when he was talking to Vaush either, if I remember correctly. He just does not have a worldview. It's just like, and I don't know, it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, he just doesn't seem worth talking to. I'm gonna be honest, he just does not seem worth talking to. He just doesn't seem very smart. You know what I mean? Oh, he's that guy? Yeah, this is the same exact guy. This is the guy who was sexually harassing AOC at the Capitol. Same guy who did those like rap puppet anti-vaccine or like pro-vaccine things. He did it's the same guy. Not dash smart.
Fragile, and you look up to these teachers and they are normalizing gay sex. They are normalizing unusual things. A kid can be, oh, this sounds cool. They can be influenced by that.
This sounds damn gay sex. This sounds cool.
Yes, children get influenced by things.
Do you notice that the majority of commercials are directed towards children because they are so influential to buy products?
Yeah, we should not advertise products to children.
That's why. Why is that? Why is that a crime to advertise products to children?
Well, because when you're
because they don't have the wherewithal to make the proper decision.
Alex,
because
are teachers selling sex?
Alex.
So when teachers are doing this to children, the same children that
are they talking about their partner is selling sex?
Certain commercials that sell certain toys because they're going to go, oh, this is going to cause a problem with the parents and kids are going to be influenced to go buy it. Yet any teacher...
This is not what they mean when they said sex sells.
Any teacher can go hang up a pride flag. Any teacher can talk about any sexual subject as long as there's no camera or anybody filming it, and you and I will never know about it.
Alex!
So for you to say...
Alex!
He's gone on a complete rant. Is he okay?
Long time.
I'm just saying, this is the last thing I want to say. If you're saying that there's not children being indoctrinated by teachers, go to Libs of TikTok. Look up there. There's
go to Libs of TikTok.
New teacher, a new school somewhere else complaining about how their children and their students aren't gay enough or aren't sexualized enough. So, call me a conspiracy theorist, go to the account, check it out yourself.
Hold on, they're complaining that their kids aren't gay enough. I'm sure that's exactly what happens. So here's the difference between advertising products to children and what you're describing. When you advertise a product to a child, you want them to buy it and own it, and you want to give them
You want to turn a profit?
When you're advertising homosexuality, you're not encouraging kids to be gay. You're not saying...
I wouldn't even say it's advertising.
False.
You think you can trick someone into being gay?
Yeah.
Really? Is that why you're gay for pay? You were tricked?
I think you don't think anybody that's ever been tricked into being gay?
All right, so why does it work in the opposite direction? Why can't we trick gay kids into being straight?
There are people that have been tricked into being straight.
No, they've been suppressed.
There's gay people that have had...
They weren't tricked, they were suppressed.
There's gay people that have been tricked into having sex with women too, so it's happened.
Wait, but that's not being
straight.
You just had straight...
Tricked it... Well, listen. If you have
What's
gay sex all the
happening?
time, are you gay? I would argue probably. But,
Probably not. No, probably not.
But
You got to identify as it. So do you see how that's enormously different? Like, are we indoctrinating our kids into being patriotic Americans with the American flag?
At this point, because there are kids.
Is that indoctrination too?
Well, there are kids that are sexually abused, like in a homosexual abuse, and they are not gay. So yeah.
In a homosexual abuse.
Why are you bringing up Okay, you're bringing up like actual like child sexual abuse when I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to ask you, what does the indoctrination look like? Saying that it's okay to be gay, saying that being trans is a thing, that's indoctrinating?
No.
No, it's not. I agree.
He's eating.
No, I'm saying.
He's eating. What's happening? This is actually just disrespectful. He has no clue what's going on. Didn't think about anything that he was going to say. Eating throughout the entire debate. Crowd's actually laughing at him. It's just, what's happening, bro? He munch. He's just a 4chaner. I don't know. I guess.
The indoctrination is way stronger than that.
So give me the examples I've been asking for so long. How do we indoctrinate kids to change their sexuality or to change their gender identity? Like flip-flop it. How do we do that?
It's the one-on-one personal attention that a teacher gives. Now, I don't believe a teacher just goes, oh, here's some gay fairy dust, and all the students become gay.
Cool.
But a lot of times they can make one student gay. They can make two students gay.
How do they make them?
Normalize it.
When you say
how and who cares?
When you say make them gay, you're saying that they otherwise would be 100% heterosexual, and if it wasn't for this one teacher,
it's that they don't know because they don't naturally they don't even know what they're attracted to yet. They're doing it at such an age where they're not having their natural attraction. They're not having their natural.
What's natural?
Like when I watched Back to the Future, or excuse me, when I watched not Back to the Future, when I watched Teen Wolf, and I still remember my first erection, and then the girl walked in with a bra, and I had my first boner, and that was a woman with a bra.
Were you tricked into being straight by that?
I highly imagine that this was the first one.
You weren't tricked. You just saw something, realized you were attracted to it, and went on with your life?
Yes.
Fantastic. That's what happens to gay people too.
No, not when their teachers are like, oh, me and my boyfriend, we were on a gay cruise, and we had so much gay sex.
Why is that
we're on a gay cruise?
Kid, but seen two,
I don't think the teacher said we had gay sex.
Straight.
Wait, say that again. Saying two gay people.
Yeah, so on one hand, this is the indoctrination. A gay person talks about going on a cruise, and that's indoctrination.
To the students personally, I'm not done. I'm not cool.
You gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish. Okay, so we have the gay teacher talking about he went on a gay cruise, and that's indoctrinating kids into being gay because it's cool, and I guess like you can just trick yourself into being sexually attracted to something like at will. But a lifetime of talking about how awesome it is that straight people have families, and seeing straight people kiss, and seeing straight people talk about how much they love their partners, that doesn't.
Teachers shouldn't be allowed to be around gay people.
It does indoctrinate. What does indoctrinate mean to you?
Well, I mean,
can you give me a definition of indoctrinate?
When you do something I disagree with.
It's like brainwashing. Just through like social norms. But this is the thing is
we get brainwashed through social norms?
Yeah, by repetitive stuff, you can actually get brainwashed by just hearing something over and over again. I mean, just look at the pandemic. I mean, safe and effective. Even though almonds aren't safe and effective for 7 billion people, peanuts aren't safe and effective for 7 billion people, shellfish, shrimp, not safe and effective for 7 billion.
What do you mean effective?
But the vaccine is.
Shrimp isn't effective? What does that mean?
Say something over and over and over.
When I eat shrimp, I'm still hungry.
And that's what's happening with the indoctrination.
So the real indoctrination
what is
was
happening?
Everything leading up to now.
What I'm saying,
when we couldn't be gay, when we couldn't be trans. That was the real indoctrination. That was the real brainwashing.
No,
because that's dumb. That's not what indoctrination is.
Subjects before children.
Is he just talking about allergies?
You have to realize that oftentimes children want attention from their teachers.
Oh no, it's just ridiculous. Does anybody remember, like, you go into the doctors to like get a shot or something, and they like ask you if you're allergic to anything, you know, like this happens, or they understand if you're allergic to something already. They tell you about the side effects that are possible. Like this happens every single time you go get any like healthcare done whatsoever. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Like, just because peanut allergies do exist does not mean that we don't say that peanuts are safe to eat. They are safe to eat. Some people can't, which is fine. Oh no. The vaccine is indeed safe. And that's why the people that actually can get the vaccine should, because some people can't. But okay.
May not be getting it at home. And
I don't know what this has to do with homosex.
So do stuff to act out as a
or
student.
Queer theory.
I acted out a lot. I did a lot of crazy things. In this day and age, now there's kids acting out saying I'm trans, saying I'm gay, just to get positive attention or positive.
So true. Gay is the new punk rock.
Teachers. Now you say, oh, that doesn't exist. False. It exists at a higher rate now than it ever has in history. So there is an indoctrination of our youth that is going on, and they're normalizing gay sex at an age when it's inappropriate.
Wait,
that's all.
Wait,
I'm
hold
saying.
on. You say we're normalizing gay sex at an age where it's inappropriate. What are you talking about? Do you think we're showing hardcore like sucking porn to children?
The kids have access to it. Actually,
they have access to the internet, and yeah, that can be a problem for like development.
So
but that's not specific to gay people, right?
Sex on the internet?
Yeah. Well, would you think it's healthy for like a 9-year-old to watch two straight people just one hardcore?
I don't think you should watch any.
Cool. So the gay part isn't. So the gay part isn't the problem.
Being based in reality.
It's the exposure though. Yeah, like that's a problem.
Guys, we've never lived in a time now of the internet age like we do. We cannot compare it to any moment in history where any kid can get on their parent's iPhone and type in boobs and get the most hardcore pornography they've ever seen in their life. So yes, we are over-sexualizing children. That is part of the huge, overwhelming problem, is the access to sexual themes, hardcore pornography. So when you add that, and then you add the indoctrination of teachers that are more gay, that are more open, and that are more able to be free, which I actually accept. I think people should be able to be,
If you actually accepted that, you wouldn't be like comparing me talking about my husband to a kid watching hardcore pornography.
No, what I'm saying
these
is
two are not comparable. You just compared them.
No, they are. They're part of a big system.
So hardcore pornography is seeing like just dick slamming action at 10. That's the same thing as going, I have a husband. Hold on, I want you to say that those things are different or the same.
I would say that the majority of
are they different or the same?
In this day and age can see.
Are they different or the same?
Are you trying to say is hardcore pornography
the same as
you and your husband?
No, they mean saying that I have a husband to a child.
Yeah, I would say that they're not the same.
Fantastic. So don't compare them.
You're not looking at my point. You're trying to argue, semantics. What I'm saying.
It's argue semantics. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is going on? He's like, oh, listen, gay people existing and pedophilia they're different, but they're all part of the same system. He's saying that like pedophilia and like talking about being gay are all cogs in the same like kid destroying machine is what he just said.
Semantics
overall, our children are being sexualized at a rate that is alarming. Whether it be from their teachers, whether it be from their parents, it is from the pornography that they have access to. Now, when you add the teachers or the indoctrination of the youth, it makes it much easier, because back in the day we had a magazine, a Playboy magazine that we shared, that we had, the pages were stuck together.
Are those the good old days?
Those are the good old days. I didn't have massive amounts, gigs of unlimited pornography at instant 1 gig speed. I had 56K modem. To see one picture of a woman's tits, it would take 10 minutes to download. Now
I don't know what this has to do with like gay people existing.
Sex at this in snap of fingers through their schools. They can download a VPN and they can be looking at pornography on their school computers. That was not a reality when I was in school. So when you add that, you add the sexualization of our youth, you look at the numbers, the amount of trans people or gay children that identify as gay in 2022 compared to 2010, 2000, 1990, 1980, 1970, it has gone up at such an exponential rate that I don't believe it to be organic. I believe that to be inorganic. So there are factors that encourage people to be gay.
Oh my gosh, GMO trans people?
Do you remember my opening statement where I said that for the vast majority of human history, we had to suppress those identities? It was not allowed to be gay. It was not allowed to be trans. Is that organic? Is it organic to decide that no, the very, very, very narrow explorations of gender and
I think he's going to say yes, honestly.
For massive suppression, for lobotomies for trans and gay people, for prison, for death sentences, which we still have in a lot of the world. That was natural, but now this very, very light, it is okay to be gay? That's all that we're doing. That we're just saying that it's okay, and that's indoctrination. It's indoctrination to the point where he just went off on this long soliloquy about access to pornography, which could be a problem, but that's what's known as a different. That's what's and that's what's known as a different topic.
It is a problem.
You tried to compare the vast access to pornography.
Bro,
to pornography.
This guy doesn't have the ability to like get on. Well, for one, talk about semantics. And two, he has no ability to get on Jangles for like things that he said, when earlier in the debate, he literally said that sexualizing children is good as long as it's softcore sexualization. So, so I'm not sure what he's here like repeating shit for. Okay. I don't know what he's here like screaming at Jangles for. He's on his phone. Yeah, he's going to start tweeting. He's gonna start live tweeting during the debate because he can't win.
With some teachers letting their kids know what being trans is or being gay is. If you think that those are in the same ballpark,
like
if you think that those are in the same city, you're delusional, buddy. That's why you held the conspiracy castle.
The teacher's like, all right, today, this is what a trans person is. No, it's not what it is. They're not.
What is
this?
Is
not the,
I've been asking for a long time.
Every day,
what is it?
Hearing about it over and over with their interpersonal connection with their teacher.
And what does it look like? And what does it look like? What does the indoctrination look like?
On our all-inclusive cruise, we had so much fun. It's so great to be gay. So now a kid might say, "Oh,
who cares?
It's great to be gay," and it is great to be gay. I'm just saying that is indoctrination. That's encouraging a vulnerable youth or a youth that we're not even allowed to advertise toys to or certain.
It's encouraging cruise ships
or certain candy to these kids, but yet a teacher can literally advertise gay sex to them all day long. So that's why I don't think is okay. I don't think it's bad to be gay. I think it's fine. You can be gay all day.
So I'll ask you again. Is it bad to advertise being straight? Is that indoctrinating them?
No, that's not bad.
Why is it not indoctrination if you advertise being straight?
Because none of us would be here if it wasn't for straight heteronormative relationships.
That's cool.
So I think that we should encourage
So you're cool with being gay, but you actually do think that we should not normalize it. We should keep it to the outskirts of society.
No,
we should. No, that's what you're saying.
I didn't say
if you're saying that it's okay, if you're saying that straight couples, we can advertise that to kids, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But we can't advertise the gay couples. What are you talking about?
I just think it's weird that China and
you just think it's weird.
You're going to say China. No, I think it's weird that China. You're going to say they're homophobic, but I do think it's weird that they make it such a point not to have in any of their children's movies any sort of gay innuendos. Why?
You're right. We should be.
But why is that? Why do you think that?
We should be like China, right? Because they're homophobic. I don't know. You know what? I find it very curious. I wonder what he would say if I would say something like, you know, white people have been, throughout history, white people have been very mean to black people. So, you know, it just seems pretty natural that you don't want to be around people who are mean to you. So, honestly, what's wrong with black people coming out and then saying that stopping their children from being around white kids? Honestly, it may be good for them. It's natural. It's natural. Listen. No black people would live if they didn't protect themselves from racism. So, you know, honestly, none of us would even be here today. So tired of listening to this Charlie Kirk NFT. Here, we're going to be listening to a little bit more and then we're done.
After communist China.
I agree.
I agree. That is what Alex Stein's beliefs are.
My point is, there is something about a child seeing this at a young age
seeing
that
what?
Does indoctrinate.
Seeing what?
Seeing unnatural gay relationships that might encourage.
So cybernetic, supernatural gay relationships. Doug, we're made of matter. Everything we do is biological. You can't say something's unnatural. And it's not going to.
I can't say something's unnatural.
All right, why?
So fentanyl is natural.
Okay, let me ask a personal question. Why do you think that I grew up to be gay despite never being exposed to it for the first 15 years of my life? In fact, actually having it suppressed for the first 25 years of my life.
Did you have any childhood sexual trauma?
No.
What the f?
Healthy relationship with my father. Love my parents.
What about your mom?
Love them both, yeah. They were both great parents.
What does your dad do for a living?
He was a coal miner in Eastern Kentucky.
See, that's probably why.
Eastern Kentucky? He was in Tokyo 3? What part? Are they laughing at coal miners? What's the funny part?
Is that like a
Where's the joke?
Innuendo, like coal miner? That's like gay. What do you?
Well, just because he's like a badass coal miner, and you're probably just sitting there playing with Barbie dolls, and then he's in the coal mine all day. You gotta take the big coal elevator. It takes 20 minutes because it's big.
So my dad
comes back. No,
rode an elevator.
This is why.
My dad.
Wait, so he's trying to say that he had like an absent father? What is he trying to say that like having a cool dad means that you're going to be gay? Strong men make gay boy. He got forced feminized by coal. I don't know. Maybe his dad was down in the cum mines mining cum coal, and then he came back and he gave his dad a hug when he came back from the coal mines, and then he would accidentally breathe in the gay coal, turning him gay. Strong men make gay boy. Gay boy make good times. Strong men make gay boys. Gay boys make good times. Good times make strong men. Strong men make gay boys. It's all coming together. We're all starting to see it, everyone. Hard men make gay times. A vicious cycle. A virtuous cycle as well. The Giga Chad loop. It's incredible. Yeah, my dad worked in coal mines. Oh, that's why you're gay. His elevator took 20 minutes. Nice, hilarious.
An elevator for 20 minutes, and that made me love.
No, and he would come back.
I can see it. My mind is being expanded into the universe.
Yeah, it's longer than that. He would come back, and he would come back covered in the coal and soot. And your mom would complain, Darren, why don't you wipe that off? Shut up, honey. Give me a Miller Lite. I've been in the coal mine all day. And then you'd see your dad, and he'd have on blackface, and you'd say, look at my racist dad in blackface. Yeah. I'm going to go suck a dick to get back at him. And then you got on the internet, and he's had some big dick, and then that's where you're at now.
That is exactly what happened. My dad, rest his soul, my dad is dead. So yeah, that is exactly what happened. Actually, I can't even refute one single part of that. It was my life story being told back to me. Thank you for your enormously informative exploration of my sexuality.
Listen, Alex, this is not a...
I grew up, didn't really like girls. And
this is not time for trauma dumping, okay, buddy?
And hairy chests were hot. That's how I thought it happens. Like normal kids finding out, like while you watch Teen Wolf and you saw boobs for the first time, you're like, I kind of like that. That's kind of what I thought happened to me. But of course, your story is the more correct one. And that actually, I think that is very, very interesting. He's cool with gay people, but he cannot imagine a scenario in which like my discovery of my own sexuality was in any way similar to his. He has to invent.
I'm joking.
He has to invent.
I'm memeing. I'm memeing.
Like, oh, I'm attracted to him. I'm not saying that that's like it doesn't exist. I mean, and I'm not even saying that we.
It's a meme.
Teach some sort of at some point, about gay sex or gay relationships. I just think it's happening at an alarming rate, at too young of a rate. I think that's where the problem is. Yeah, I'm based in reality. It's not what I want. It's what I have a populist mindset. It's what the people want. So gay people exist. We should give them the same rights as everybody else. But those young children that shouldn't be sexualized, they shouldn't be sexualized in heteronormative relationships. They shouldn't be sexualized in gay sex relationships.
But you said Cinderella was fine, and so Cinderella is sexualizing kids.
You could argue that Cinderella is more socially acceptable to showing the heterosexual relationship.
You argued it was sexual.
There's the only reason I bring up China.
Wait, I want to see where this part goes.
But they do think that it's so important that there's.
Why does he keep bringing up China?
I feel like that they think.
I don't understand.
It does have a very powerful effect on their brain to see these things at a young age.
Yeah, and that powerful effect.
Who cares what China
about
thinks?
The effect on it. Well, see, I don't necessarily think that's true because this is
seeing gay people in media, and especially in children's media, normalizes it. If you think normalize is like a conspiracy theory word, you called it sinister. That's kind of right. Here's my ultimate.
Yeah, you're not funny.
Agenda.
It's a minor spelling mistake. He wins.
Achieved perfect equality. All right.
Congratulations, Insomniac Pen. Your minor spelling mistake means that Alex wins the debate. All right, everybody. If you thought that Jangles was winning, it's over. We all know that once you make a spelling mistake, it's over. It's all. There ain't no coming back. Sorry, everyone. We were having fun. No, no. Minor spelling mistake. I win. Yeah, he has no clue what the word indoctrination just means that you can make an impression on a child by existing, which I don't know. Sometimes, and I think this every now and again, I feel like this question isn't asked too much while people are having debates, but I feel like it needs to be asked more, which is, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I really do feel like we need to start asking ourselves, who cares more? Yeah, any askers? It's just like, it's less of askers, because I do ask, but I just want to know why. The question, why should I care? Who cares? Why should I care? Right? That's a big thing that I think that we just don't touch on too much. A lot of people that I argue with or have debates with, they always go like, that's not like that's not a good answer or something, or that's not a, they'll say shit like, that's not a real answer. It is a real answer. I think that's not like a real question. It is a real question. Why should I care? Or why does this matter? Or who cares is 100% a real question. Why should I care about this? Because they can bring by like as much story as they want. They can have like a whole soliloquy on why they believe what they believe. But the question is still out, and the question is why should I care about this? He can say that like this is like indoctrinating. He can, if that's his definition of the word. Why should I care? You're not giving me a definition that I actually care about or why it matters, right? If your version of indoctrination is there could be a kid who goes to the class of a gay person and the gay person comes back from the weekend and before class starts, they talk about the weekend that they spent with their partner and their partner happens to be the same sex as them. And then the kid thinks to themselves, wow, maybe gay people are cool. That's cool. And then one day they think maybe I'm gay, and then have a boyfriend for 5 days and then realize that they don't want to date them. And that's like, why should I care? You know, if that's your definition of indoctrination, why should I care? Where is the like harm? You need to like start to talk about like harm that's actually done, the children that's actually hurt. If that's your definition of indoctrination, that just, I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's anything worth caring about. Chinaman, dude. Have you seen Chinaman? We should listen to China.
Watching a movie, a big burly man comes up and introduces, hey, my name's Jeff, and this is my husband Derek. And there's no like, there's no record scratch. It's just so normal as to be boring and incidental. That's the ultimate goal of the gay agenda. And you can extrapolate that to a bunch of other queer identities as well. That's the ultimate goal. And yeah, we do want to normalize this. What we don't want to do is, and we're pretty famous about this, we do not want to force children to not be themselves. And that applies to straight and cis kids as well. Why do you think we want to convert people out of what their regular sexuality or gender identity would be? What purpose does that serve for us? What's the sinister underlying conspiracy theory that you think happens?
Why would you want to convert people to be gay?
Yeah, we don't have to. They exist.
So you have more sexual partners, I guess.
I got the one. I'm good.
I'm just talking about why would you want to convert somebody to be the same sexuality so you could have sex with them? That's why.
Okay, but that doesn't work. We know that doesn't work.
What do you mean that doesn't work?
You cannot trick someone into being gay, just like you can't trick them into being straight.
I don't think
we know conversion therapy doesn't work.
I don't think conversion therapy works, but I'm saying there are people that were sexually abused at a young age that have sexual identity problems later on in life.
Yeah, and sometimes that problem is reversed. Like,
so I'm saying you can cause problems. I mean, so you can cause
problems. Of course you can.
So here's I just don't. Yet he's losing it too. I don't know. I feel like this could be like where we end off here. He just, I don't know. We don't have to keep listening to this. But here's this one thing. A lot of people, to touch on this, a lot of people, and I would say that Alex is 100% homophobic. This guy is homophobic, yes. But the thing is, if you have like if you're a victim of CSA, right? We'll put it like that. If you're a victim of CSA, you tend to more likely have like risky sexual behavior when you're older. But risky sexual behavior is not being gay. Risky sexual behavior would be if you are gay, like having like unprotected sex more, or in general unprotected sex is what it's typically known as, or like sex with more people that you like don't know. Or, you know, there's a lot of things that could fall under that, but it's not being a homosex. That's not the same thing at all. But people who hate gay people try to make you believe that that's a part of it. The problem is there are a lot of gay people who are actually abused. And so people think that it's the opposite way around, that like being abused makes you gay. It tends to be more like being gay means that you're more likely to be abused by your parents specifically, and so you're gay but also now abused, and it wasn't like you were abused but also now gay. It's just, I don't know, it's just like children brain, it's baby brain, you know. Remember when we were having that debate with those like stink lords, and then oh geez, and then I said specifically, he got mad at me when he heard me reference him having a baby brain, you know what I mean? And then he's like, I can't believe you told me that I had baby brain. This is Alex also has baby brain. Alex is also a baby brain boy. He's also a boy with a very small brain. and it's sad. And I wish he grows up one day. But yeah, this man is also baby brain. I'm sorry. This is definition textbook baby brain. Not understanding how the world works, not being able to understand how any of this works. It's just, I don't know. It's very sad, very ridiculous. Jangles did a great job. I know for a fact Jangles came very prepared to have a conversation on queer theory, and then he goes on, and then he's left with having a screaming match at some person whose like version of debating is like shitting his pants and then looking at the crowd for laughs. So I know he's definitely upset. Wait, actually, I can show you upset he actually is. During this single screenshot here can basically show you everything about this entire debate. I think this one here, Alex like looking off into the crowd with like a 1,000-yard stare with like a slight smirk on his face, and Jangles genuinely just kind of like defeated as he explains the same concept over again, while Alex just kind of sits there not soaking up any of the information whatsoever. He looks so dumb. Well, it's mostly because he very much is, but you know. Incredibly interesting stuff there, Alex. Incredibly interesting stuff. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it.